Hey everybody, this is Rachel from Blue Jane Creations. I apologize for the lag in the videos, but I've finally been able to get back at it and wanted to also jump in here and attempt a voiceover of me while I'm working on decorating the color bombed Christmas bulbs that I made a while back. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link up of the first video I put up of just me decorating it with some music. But I need to get these finished off hopefully by next week. We have the craft shows start in 2 weekends from today, so of course, there's a huge to-do list. So in any case, this is giving you some idea of what I do to finish off the Christmas bulbs. And when I was off at a crafty weekend with my friend, the one we're going to be doing the shows with together, I fell in love with using Tim Holtz decoupage paper to decorate the Christmas bulbs with. And I'm trying very hard to stay away from a lot of Christmassy themed things, because usually at the craft shows there's so much that's already decorated just for Christmas. I thought, let me do something a little different. This way I'm not competing with a lot of the really pretty Christmas things that they have. So I'm also enjoying bringing like a mixed media vibe to the Christmas bulbs rather than, like I said, just your standard issue. So technically, if you wanted, you could take any of them, unless they are one of the few that I did that were Christmas themed, and hang them up all year if you wanted. But in this one, you see I'm using Tim Holtz. This is just as plain white paper. I think I have every pattern that he has available, but I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to go back and check his, I don't know if he has a specific website, but I guess I could go to like Simon Says Stamp or Ranger websites and see. But I have most of them, if not all of them. And it's a really, really nice medium, particularly in dealing with like a round object like these Christmas bulbs are, because you have to use quite a bit of I'm using the Liquitex gel medium here to attach and seal the paper onto the Christmas bulb, but it doesn't tear. And I have used a lot of gel medium on these papers to get them to conform to the shape. So like this one, you see I'm using his Christmas pattern decoupage paper, and I have used a ton of the gel medium. Any of them that I've used the papers on, you really have to saturate it to get those edges to lay flatter. And as I get each one done, then I hang them up. And then once they don't have to be completely dry. As you'll see, well, you can't see, I guess, because you can't feel, they're still tacky in my hand. But in any case, when they get to a point where they're probably about 80% dried and the gel medium is set, then I take them down and then I start doing the final decoration. I think this is definitely a technique that I'm going to keep doing. And you could use rice paper, you could use just regular tissue paper, you could go get some and stamp it, to do your own images. And you'll see a lot of editing where there's the dead spaces, or if I still have trouble remembering to keep my hands in the frame, so I try to edit out the worst of it where you can't see actually what I'm doing. So there's a couple of hops where all of a sudden I go from one bulb to another. Like now I'm on the black one. I didn't do any paper on this one. I was working with the black and pink theme. I like the black tool or the pink tooling on the black bulb. And then I added some, you'll see I've went through a few different decisions on which embellishments to add to it. And I finally settled on, if I come back up, yep, I think I was just starting to pick out the pink flowers I wanted to use in place of that larger white flower. So like I said, I absolutely love using a ton of different mediums. on here, from the fake flowers to the metal embellishments. I did some with the metal gears for like a grunge look. And the flowers, of course, I love my puffy flowers, as I call them. And I like adding the bow. That's about the most consistent nod to the quote unquote Christmas theme. And then here was a technique I tried at that crafty weekend. I don't know if jute is a form of twine or if they're two separate types of rope, I guess. But I love using that where I wrap it around, and then here you see I'm adding some fake plastic greenery to it to do the embellishments. It is technically Christmas, the Christmas paper, but I like adding the different things to come together. So while the paper says Christmas, I did do the red with the green to, you know, acknowledge Christmas, but I used the red roses here that have just a little bit of sheen and glitter on them just to mix it up. And then I believe I came in and added a couple of small white flowers to kind of tie it in all together. But I didn't want it to be in your face Christmas. Like I said, I'm trying to do it where, you know, you could hang some of these all year round if you want, or you could just use them strictly as Christmas bulbs. But I really liked coming in with the different styles. And yeah, here you'll see I used a lot of hot glue. I think I decorated all together from when we were at that crafty weekend through what you see here in the video. I had one coil of super long Surebonder glue, the hot glue, because that's a mini Surebonder glue gun that I'm using. And that has lasted all the way from, I had to have decorated at least 50 Christmas bulbs that weekend. And then here you'll see I'm working on decorating 7 more, and I still have enough to probably, even with when I'm done with these 7, at least 10 more, if not more. I'll try to remember to mark it down so I can remember how many things I can decorate with the one coil. But anyway, I digress. So here I'm having fun using, it looks metallic, but it's not. It's just a pretty little, you can use it, it's not ribbon. I can't think of exactly what you would want to call it. Like a strand. It's like a pretty little strand. It almost looks like it's beaded, but like I said, it's not actually metal. So I used the 2 strands I had left of that with this white flower because I loved it. It almost has like script on it. I know you can't really see here in the video, but I was determined to use that flower and it just worked perfectly. It's a silver and black glitter bombed Christmas bulb, and you can't really see the black on the side that's facing up. And I used some of Tim Holtz black and white decoupage paper on the bottom half, and then I used the silver beading string as a border, I guess you could call it. But even though it's the black and the silver, like I said, it really isn't in your face Christmas on there. And I had a little bit of a struggle with the silver bowl, it's like a little ball embellishment. The majority of the little wires, I wanted to make the coils, but they were rusted. So I had to trim those off and just kind of get them where I wanted them to go as the embellishment with the hot glue. And they kept sticking. I don't know if you could really see that with this on speed up, but my finger just kept wanting to stick. It was quite fun, those moments when, you know, they're being a little uncooperative. This one, you didn't get to see me put the paper on it much because I had forgotten and my fingers were out of the camera range. But here it was just a thin strip of the paper that has the birds on it by Tim Holtz, and I wanted to try to make a little bow with that twine, but it just didn't look right, so I opted to come in and I did like a little, just wrapped it around the neck of the ornament, and then I just came in with a really pretty, I guess you would call it a dusky rose colored flower, faux flower, and did that in lieu of the little pre-made bows that I had, because none of them really, kind of the colors wasn't really liking the way that the colors of those little pre-made bows worked with it. So in any case, now here I'm trying to go through and find a complementary little pink embellishment to go with the, I don't know if I put the twine in. Oh yeah, here again my hand was off, so now you see it had the twine on there, and then I used the little pink embellishments you can still see here in the screenshot on the sides where the twine crisscrossed. Yeah, you can see I'm fixing it. The one kept kind of like it was up too far. It didn't look right, so I kept trying to fiddle with it. I would use the hot glue gun tip to melt the glue underneath the embellishment. So here now I'm on the blue glitter one that I used the bird decoupage paper on. And again, seriously, I am loving this look where you get the rustic vibe and the mixed media together. And I believe I wrapped most of it off camera, of course. But to be fair, it is kind of hard to wrap it over the desk, and not get it tangled up and stuff. So, so here I'm just using the Dollar Tree here in the States. If you're not from here, they have these, it's considered a ribbon, but it's just like a chain, a roll of, I don't know, it's almost like a gemstone ribbon. And I had a lot of fun. I just cut it in half, and I cut off each blue one individually and then spaced them out around the Christmas bulb here to match or to complement the color of the bulb, but without being too much. I'm trying to not go too overboard in the decorations on here. And then here now I'm back to the purple one. And this one, well, it was a little bit interesting here. It was kind of hard to place the twine on this one. And then now I'm going back over it with the metallic wax. I'm using the frosted berry, I think it's called. And then I did the antique gold over that. These are the little metallic waxes I got from Little Birdie. Had a really nice sale about a month ago, and I was able to pick up on all the colors they had available at the time. I think it was about 7 or 8 of them. And it's not a very big pot of metallic wax, but a little goes a very long way. So these are going to last me a long time, given how you use them. So here I was getting the wax off my fingers so I don't contaminate anything. And then here I'm just I like the stars theme. I had done a couple stars on some of the other bulbs, so I wanted to kind of continue that, but with the purple. So I was digging through my embellishment box, and I had just enough to be able to space them out, and I'm pretty proud. I did it fairly evenly, which is pretty good for me. And again, it's a little fiddly sometimes. The hardest thing of working with the small embellishments and the hot glue is it's sticking to your finger and then accidentally yanking it off or pulling out half the glue. So it can be a little bit of a challenge when you got the little fiddly bits. And instead of just using the twine here, I have it's really soft yarn, and I don't have enough to make anything like a sweater or anything, but I thought it would be fun here to use it as a border between the black and white Tim Holtz paper and then the pretty, it kind of looks burgundy here, but it's more of a purple, like a deep purple. So I'm bringing in the black the purple and the white to kind of bring it all in together. And I think that's about as embellished as I get on a lot of these. You know, get some detail in there, but I try not to make it too much. And I also had just enough of these pretty little plastic hearts to space them out to break up some of that black. And it also helps the yarn to stay in place using the hot glue to attach the embellishments. So kind of works out so this way the yarn isn't sliding all over. But this has been a tremendously fun project, and you know, I'm not sure how they'll go at the craft shows, but you know, it's just if they sell, that's fantastic. If not, if you know, I'm not worried about the sales. It's a fun day anyway, meeting people and hanging out and doing something normal. And then here I'm just kind of getting the final or the finished bulbs from today positioned to take a photo of it. So thanks for watching. I know this is kind of an abrupt end, but the video is going to be done here pretty quick. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.